The next stage is to clean up these edges and set in. And I'm going to suggest you take one area like this and then repeat whatever we do on this area on the other two areas. So there are three of each area, of course. So the first step is to find a tool that matches the sort of curve that you want. Now, if you don't have exactly the tool, you can certainly adapt this tool to the drawing. In other words, the drawing changes to fit the tool. But as long as you repeat this tool on each of the three areas like this, then you should be okay, and the drawing, everything will look equal. So what we do is we just push that straight down like this. I've given it a little bit of I'll just put that out there. See, so it's straight down to the wall here. Now as you get down, because it's so shallow, you can stab it a little bit into the background. Not too much, but that means that when we come to finish the background up to it, this chip should fall out. So I'm going to find this tool here, and I've moved it around. You see, I've sliced it around a little bit, but I've essentially matched that curve here, and I'll do that on all three sides. So I'll then swap to another tool, and perhaps this one will match this one here, this curve here. So I'll stab that one in like this. And we're going to come round a little bit here because I don't want anything to break off there. So do that on the same one all the way around, wherever I want to go. Then I might find one that'll fit this edge here. This is quite a slow curve. It's probably better sliced, but you can find a tool that fits there, like that. Straight down, so straight down like this. Then we come into slicing, which means you find the tool, you shunt it along like this, push it down, shunt it along, keeping it exact on that line. Don't worry too much don't think about the bevel, think about the angle, think about this wall coming pretty much vertically. If anything, you're going to slope it out that way a little bit to get a little bit of light. Very carefully nibble that back, push that in. So you work your way around, like for example this one will probably do a bit over here. But as it comes to this curve, perhaps this one is a little bit, no, you see that one's a little bit too tight. So use something a little bit flatter. I'm down to, now here's one that'll fit. Around here like this. Do your best with the corners, but remember that this arm's going to come across here. So each one of these stab cuts is through towards the background, and eventually this whole line will join up all the way around. When it's really hard, you could use your mallet. Here's a slicing cut, pushing like this. Now this little corner here is a bit tricky, so I might leave that for now. To leave anything that's really a little bit awkward, we'll deal with that later. I've got a little corner here. I'm going to have to nibble this one around in several little bits like this. There you go, so I've pretty much come all round the edge. So do this on this one, then matching it on the other two, and then you can turn to another area and sort that out, set that in. I've used the same tools and use the same method as before. Picking out the tools to match. Bring in smaller tools to cut around smaller places like there. And probably here's a tool that'll go around here. Fill in there. Now when it comes to this part here, I think it's a good idea if we score this line that runs around the outside, around the feet. So what I'm going to do is lift this leading edge a little bit and just push it with my thumb here around like that. So that this line joins with that line, goes across that clean edge, joins this line here, and comes that edge. That way we'll have this circle going all the way around. These areas here are a little bit tighter, so we'll just do the best we can at the moment. They'll be easier to get at once we round this over, but let's just do this anyway. So taking this bit around here, swap into a flatter gouge. Let's pick that one up there. Now what's going to happen is that this line here is going into the back of the rabbit, so we must keep an eye on that. Let's just turn around this over. So this top of this ear comes like that, along the top of the ear, the bottom of this bit of the ear. And I'll pick this one up here, like that. So I'm trying to get some of that wood out. And then this very tight junction here, you might just have to swap back to that tight number 10. It'd be best just to clear that up there. So we're trying to stab down, but make sure we don't go too deep and into too much of the background. Now this bit here in the middle, this is a bit like an extended delta. So what I would do here is I would put a little stop cut in there like that with the gouge or chisel, and then again, so this one, this ear goes, this big one goes over there. So there it is, coming over here on this side, and it is coming over here on this side. So even as I'm putting in the edge here, I'm thinking about where that line goes. So something a bit narrower, just to... Now some of the wood will come off, it'll pop off if you cut the short grain, but some of it won't. Not worry about that. So I'll just cut down. This hasn't much fallen away, but that'll do for the moment. I've got my nice edges all the way around all the rabbit now, all the hairs all the way around, paying attention to where these lines go. And with that, we finish the setting in, and we should be able to start clearing up some of this crud and in this background.